What's going on, everybody? I've been promising to make this video for a long time. Well, I guess about 2 weeks now since Becker's webinar, and I've just had one thing after the other to keep me from getting to it. I got really busy with orders after the webinar, and then I got pink eye, and now I'm about to deal with a big ass hurricane. So listen to all of my excuses and forgive me for being late. But basically, what I'm going to do is show you how to do the on-page portion of ranking the videos, like I did in the webinar for Becker. That's I should be linked in the group. If it's not, I'll put it back there. So let me know. But I'm going to go through it real quick. Quick disclaimer: I picked a ridiculously easy to rank for term because I've tried to do this a few times now, and it didn't work. You get usually about 1 out of 4 of these to show up on the first page every time you do it. But you can pop through these, a bunch an hour and get a few first page rankings that you can eventually rent to people or sell or whatever you want to do. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get going here. We're on YouTube, and we're gonna go to upload, and the video should be done by now. Yeah, this is the one I just made a few minutes ago. Gallivan's Ferry, which is a little city near where I live in South Carolina. Little actually doesn't do justice to how small it is. Anyway, Gallivan's Ferry dermatologist. So you'll note the first thing you notice is that the name of the file is the exact keyword we're going to be looking to rank for. Okay, so then what we're going to do, we're going to right click on it and go to rename. If you have a Mac, you're going to have to figure out how to right click on your own because I use real computers instead of Tinker Toys. And then we're going to right click again and go to properties. And then over here under the details tab, we're going to you're going to find a whole bunch of different properties you can set. Now, technically, you should put in here what it says, the title, the subtitle, comments, and so on. What we're going to do is just keyword stuff the shit out of it. So you're going to go into every single one of these settings that'll take a value, a text value, and put in your keyword. This is pretty tedious, so just bear with me for a minute or two. This is also a good way if you have like one video you want to use. Suppose you have a video for plumbers and you want to use it for a bunch of different cities. Technically, YouTube doesn't let you use the same video over and over again. But if you come in here and change these properties, it'll change the ones and zeros of the video, so it'll register as a different video, so you can use the same one over and over again. That's just a little quick tip. So we're gonna hit apply and OK, and click open. And then here we've got the exact keyword as the very first thing in our title. And we're going to come in here to the description, and we're going to shove the keyword in there again like 10 times. We're doing like 2009 style SEO for the on page of these because YouTube's algorithm is just not as sophisticated, and you can get away with a lot more. Same with ranking them in Google. Check here in the translations to make sure that it's in here as well. And then we're going to come over here to advanced settings, and we're going to put in the video location. This obviously, if you're doing like an affiliate video, this wouldn't work. But is it Gallivan's Ferry? And then just take the pin and move it slightly so it changes it to coordinates. And recording date is today. And then one other thing we want to do is choose a custom thumbnail, and we're going to use. This is another time we're going to rename it to the exact property to the exact keyword. And you could do, if you were using a JPEG instead of a PNG, I think this is a PNG, so it's not going to work. But if you're using a JPEG, you could do the same thing. Come in here to details and just shove in the keyword a bunch of times. It doesn't work with PNGs for some reason, though. And we're going to use my logo because I'm arrogant. Here we go. We'll wait for that to finish uploading. And then we're going to click publish. Alright, and now we're going to come over here to Source Machine, and we're going to go to Post. And there's 3 different options in Source Machine, but for this, you can use the social post, but I mostly just use the blog post. Video post is if you just want to upload a video with it. That's another way to upload your video, and I find you do get a little bit of a boost with that, but for the most part, it's kind of useless. So we're going to name the campaign, and here again, we're going to be super old school with our SEO. We're going to blog title is going to be Gallivan's Ferry Dermatologist. We're going to put it in here. And Source Machine's a little confusing because I don't know what the difference between the preview title and the blog title and the keywords and all that crap is. So I just put it in all of them and hope that it gets it where it's supposed to go. And then change the date because it's a different time zone than I'm in. Need the video URL. Obviously, if you were looking to actually make money with this video, you'd make a much nicer looking video than this, but I just did this for the sake of expediency. So I know somebody will ask about that, so I can post you a couple of sites to get good videos made if you don't know how to do that. And we're going to grab the embed code. And for some reason, you have to put the embed code here in the embed code portion, and then come up here and change this to source and put it in there as well, or else it doesn't put it in. I don't know why it doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. Grab this. This is super exciting to watch, I'm sure. There's that. I suppose we can add a file. I don't really think it's necessary, but whatever. There. And we're going to click submit. And we're just going to select all of them. There's a bunch of other ones that this supports, but I don't have a bunch in here right now because it's a long story. And click confirm. And we might as well go ahead and do a social post just in case you want to see under the hood here a little more. Social posts are pretty confusing on here. We're going to grab our keyword again because I'll explain as we go. There's the campaign name and the title, but like a lot of the sites don't require a title, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I've just had to learn as I go on that. And grab our URL, stick that in there and in there, because I find if I just put it in here, it'll just, on Twitter, it'll just make a text version of the link and it won't actually be a link, and that's absolutely worthless. So we're going to change the date again, and for this you do want to choose an image if you can, because that way it'll use Pinterest as well. So then we're going to click submit. And select all those and confirm. Alright, and we're going to pause for a minute, and you know what, just for the sake of transparency, let's see what time it is. Date and time. It's 10:01 on October 6th, and I do not live in Garden City, but I live close to there. So, alright, so we're going to pause and come back in a minute and check and see if our video is ranked. Alright, we're back. Let's refresh and see what time it is now. I doubt it's 10:02. That was not a long break at all, so let's come checking our video. We're going to go incognito and go to Google. We are not signed in and we're incognito, so this is as close to an accurate result as you're going to get. We're going to go Galavant's Fairy Dermatologist. There we are at number 1. Now, I know somebody's going to complain and say, well, that's a super easy term, and you're absolutely right. It still has value. There are a couple of dermatologists in Galavant's Ferry, as we can see. So I could probably call them and sell them on this video if it didn't look like absolute shit. But that's about it. That's all there is to it. That was, what, 10 minutes? This whole video's lasted, less than that, to do it. So that was a little bit of behind the scenes on what I did for Becker on that webinar. The on-site portion of it is just as important as the source machine or SynWire Blast. That's about all I got for you today. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to subscribe to whatever I post below, because I put out good stuff and you'll enjoy it. If you're in my Facebook group, thank you very much for watching, and let me know if you have any other questions. Alright, have a good one.